Aaron Rodgers, Steelers intensify pursuit of Tyreek Hill in trade rumors. Tyreek Hill trade rumors intensify as Steelers emerge as potential suitor. NFL trade speculation is swirling around Miami Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Insider reports suggest the Pittsburgh Steelers are considering a move for the player known as Cheetah. This comes just weeks before the NFL's trade deadline. According to ESPN, the Dolphins have stated they have no plans to trade Hill. The team has not received any formal offers for the All-Pro receiver. Insider details potential Steelers' interest. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler recently fueled the speculation. He suggested the Steelers might be preparing for a significant acquisition. Fowler stated the Steelers could have one more major move. He specifically mentioned they would likely discuss a deal for Hill if the Dolphins were open to talks. This analysis points to Pittsburgh's desire to upgrade their offensive weapons. The report contrasts with the Dolphins' public stance. Team sources told ESPN they have not fielded any trade calls regarding Hill. General Manager Chris Greer has also previously confirmed Hill never formally requested a trade. Contract and captaincy shift add to narrative. Hill is in the second year of a lucrative restructured contract. The Dolphins have already paid his $15.85 million option bonus for this season. His financial situation makes a trade complex, but not impossible. Any team acquiring him would take on a significant salary cap hit. Adding to the intrigue, the Dolphins recently announced their 2025 team captains. For the first time since 2022, Hill was not on the list. This decision followed a controversial end to the 2024 season. As reported by Reuters, Hill removed himself from the season finale against the New York Jets and later apologized for comments suggesting he wanted to leave Miami. Hill himself has downplayed the trade noise. He recently said he views adversity as opportunity and does not pay attention to the rumors. The situation remains fluid as the NFL trade deadline approaches. The final decision on a potential Tyreek Hill trade rests solely with the Miami Dolphins front office, setting the stage for a tense few weeks. NFL rumor season is often compared to wildfire. One small spark can spread into a roaring blaze, consuming headlines, talk shows, and social media threads in a matter of hours. This week's spark: the Pittsburgh Steelers, suddenly linked with Aaron Rodgers and reportedly intensifying their pursuit of Tyreek Hill in trade talks. The mere mention of those three names in the same sentence, Rodgers, Hill, Steelers, feels like the beginning of a football fairy tale, one equal parts thrilling and chaotic. But if there's one thing the NFL has taught fans, it's that sometimes the unlikeliest rumors end up shaping the course of history. Pittsburgh's big gamble. The Steelers are not a franchise known for desperate swings. They value stability, tradition, and the slow build of homegrown talent. Yet the modern NFL leaves little room for patience, and Pittsburgh finds itself at a crossroads. Their defense remains ferocious, their fan base expectant, but their offense has lacked the spark that separates contenders from pretenders. Aaron Rodgers, the mercurial future Hall of Famer, has reportedly grown restless with his current situation. Despite flashes of brilliance, his late career has been marred by injuries, questionable rosters, and playoff heartbreaks. For the Steelers, the idea of bringing in Rodgers is about more than adding an arm. It's about importing swagger, experience, and the kind of quarterback who makes every Sunday feel like theater. Still, Rodgers alone wouldn't be enough. Pittsburgh has weapons. George Pickens is ascending, Pat Freiermuth is reliable, and Najee Harris remains a force. But they don't yet have that one player who keeps defensive coordinators awake at night. That's where Tyreek Hill enters the picture. The Tyreek factor. Few players in NFL history have changed games the way Hill does. His speed isn't just fast, it's terrifying. Defenders backpedal before the snap. Safeties cheat deeper than they should, and even then, Hill often still streaks past them. For the Dolphins, Hill has been both a blessing and a headache. He's delivered highlight after highlight, but Miami's uneven start to the season has sparked whispers about whether the franchise is willing to reset. If that means shopping Hill while his value is sky-high, the Steelers could swoop in. Imagine Rodgers, under the bright lights of Heinz Field, or Acrisure Stadium, as it's now called, scanning the field. Pickens on one side, Hill on the other, Freiermuth working the middle, and Harris pounding defenses into submission. For Pittsburgh fans, who pride themselves on gritty old-school football, it would feel like Christmas morning, wrapped in jet fuel and delivered with Rodgers' signature smirk. Rodgers plus Hill, a nightmare for defenses. Football is often described as a chess match, But Rodgers with Hill wouldn't be chess. It would be blitzkrieg. Rodgers thrives on precision throws, quick releases, and manipulating defenders with his eyes. Hill thrives on chaos, turning broken plays into touchdowns and routine slants into sprints down the sideline. Put the two together, and you have an offense capable of scoring from anywhere, at any moment. Defenses would face impossible decisions. Double Hill and leave Pickens one-on-one? Drop a safety deep and risk Rodgers carving you up with Harris and Freiermuth underneath? Blitz Rodgers, knowing one misstep leaves Hill streaking untouched? For Pittsburgh, long defined by defense-first football, it would be a radical reinvention, an embrace of offensive fireworks they haven't truly seen since the prime days of Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. The risk. Of course, nothing in the NFL comes without risk. Rodgers is 41, and while his arm talent remains, his health has become fragile. Tyreek Hill, meanwhile, is electric but polarizing. His off-field controversies and expensive contract make him as much of a gamble as he is a reward. Then there's the matter of cost. To acquire both Rodgers and Hill, the Steelers would almost certainly have to mortgage draft capital, young talent, and perhaps even reshape their financial future. It would be the kind of all-in push that either ends with a parade down the three rivers or years of regret. But isn't that the beauty of it? Steelers fans have endured seasons of mediocrity, dancing around .500 and hoping for sparks that never fully ignite. Trading for Rodgers and Hill would be a bold declaration. We're not here to wait. We're here to win. Locker room dynamics. One of the most fascinating questions in this rumored pursuit is how Rodgers and Hill would fit into the Steelers' culture. Mike Tomlin, unshakable and commanding, has built a locker room based on respect and accountability. Adding two strong personalities, one famously enigmatic, the other brash and outspoken, would test even Tomlin's steady hand. Yet, it could also elevate the team. Rodgers, for all his quirks, commands loyalty when he's engaged. Hill, when focused, is a relentless competitor who raises the ceiling of everyone around him. If Tomlin can harness their energy, Pittsburgh could become the league's most dangerous team overnight.